Good evening, everyone. I'm Bradley Leverance, and tonight I'll be giving you an update on the Syracuse men's basketball team. So raise your hand if you've been to a basketball game so far this year. Good. So personally, I work alongside Jim Boeheim and the assistant coaches each day, and I work diligently helping with practices and also with games on a daily basis. So as for the players, Tyus Battle, Tyler Lydon, and Andrew White have all been having outstanding seasons so far, recently upsetting Florida State, the number 6 team in the country, and also Virginia, the number 9 team in the country. Having said this, however, Jim Boeheim's squad has been struggling to find a source of consistency, especially with the addition of 3 new starters that have never played together before. And these players include John Gillen and Andrew White, who are both graduate transfers, and Tyus Battle, a freshman who recently sunk the game-winning shot against NC State. So looking forward for Syracuse, tonight they will be playing number 8, Louisville. This will be the most competitive game so far for Syracuse, and they will definitely need to come prepared. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this update on Syracuse men's basketball.
Okay, great. Samantha?
Hello, my name is Samantha Brennan, and when I think of some of the ways that I can be most effective in my workplace, I consider my strengths, meaning the ways, the qualities that I can leverage to reach my greatest career success. And, sorry, can I start over? So, this means that self-awareness is absolutely imperative in leadership, in forming a strong team, and in communication in your workplace. So we have a wealth of tools and resources that we can use to identify our communication style. And one of them that I really enjoy is a DISC assessment, so that's D-I-S-C. And that is an online tool that uses a series of questions to give you a report about your behavioral tendencies. And though it's brief, it gives you a 22-page summary of your strengths, your weaknesses, your communication style, as well as an action plan for how you can best interact in a team. And I've used this personally in my workplace, and it has allowed us to identify how we can use our skills collectively rather than letting it create conflict when there's differences. So I would encourage all of you to try this and find how it applies to your professional relationships. Thank you.
Okay. Great. Who's next? Luke? Good. Thank you. Give me just a sec to cue you, okay?
Take your time. Hi everyone, how's it going? My name is Luke, and today I'm going to talk to you about a great cloud application called Microsoft OneDrive. So OneDrive is a service that allows you to sync your files across multiple devices, such as your phone, tablet, and PC. So I use this application almost every day for simple tasks, such as checking a course's syllabus between class, things like that. So for my example, I'm going to need you to download OneDrive on 2 devices, preferably on your smartphone and PC. When you're prompted for a login, you can log in using our Syracuse username and password, which is the same one that we use to access services such as Blackboard, MySlicer, Syracuse email, things like that. So once you have logged in on your computer, you'll be prompted to create a folder to sync up your devices that you save on your PC. So do that on the desktop. It's the easiest place to store things. And now let's say that you're working on an essay in Word, you're typing along, but you need to go to class, and class is a little bit of a walk away. Save your document to that OneDrive folder on your desktop, close your computer, you can leave that home, then walk to class, find a nice place to post up for a few minutes. You can open the application on your phone, check out the essay, and continue reading and writing it as you go, and that's one example of how to use OneDrive. Thanks so much, guys.
Okay, Joy, I think you're next. may.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about why you should learn a second language, and my name is Joy. So raise your hand if you speak more than one language. Okay, that's a good amount of hands. For me, learning a second language gives me opportunities to study abroad and experience global environment and lifestyles. People who speak more than one language are more competitive than others because they got more job offer than others. And in addition, statistics have shown that people who speak more than one language are smarter than others because they can think stuff in different angles. In some people, learning a second language can enhance your global experience, job opportunity and brain activity. So now you may want to learn a second language or a third language. Learning language is not a daily business, so you can just start it now.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Maria Spliggy, and tonight I'm going to be talking to you about my favorite food. How many of you have been asked to bring food to a social event? Maybe recently for the Super Bowl or any party? This task can often seem like a burden. What do I bring? What are other people bringing? How many people are going to be there? Should I make something, or can I pick something up on the way? I find chocolate chip cookies are a great addition to any party. They're easy to buy, they're easy to make, they don't require any utensils, and most people enjoy them. My go-to recipe contains one unique ingredient that often leads to people asking, what did you put in these cookies to make them so tasty? Not only are they tasty, but they're healthier because they contain less sugar. Simply Google any recipe of chocolate chip cookies and replace a half a cup of sugar with 1 packet of instant vanilla pudding. I've been making these cookies for years, and they are sure to please family and friends. Whether you are welcoming a new neighbor, or sitting in a 3-hour class during dinner time, or trying to impress your Valentine, I encourage you to make these cookies. But for tonight, I brought you in a batch to try for yourselves. Thank you.
Yep. Hit of the party already. That's good. Vanilla pudding, you said, is the secret ingredient?
That's right.
Did you just pull something out of the closet one day, or this is like a secret family recipe? Is that how it's been handed down? All right. Will, you're up next. It's okay, you swallow, and this is still going around, so as things settle down here, that'll be a...
Thank you.
Yeah, so long as you're not going to be distracted by too much by the cookies going. Whenever you're ready is good.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Will Divas, and I'd like to talk to you guys about something that you guys carry around every day. So most of us either have a laptop or a phone in our pockets, and it's something we hang on to throughout our entire life. So we always need one They're a great way to interact with the world around us, but few people actually understand how they work. So I'm going to go over a couple of the core components to any computer, and hopefully by the end of this you'll understand a little bit more about it and possibly be encouraged to go out and build one of your own. So starting off, we have the central processing unit, or the CPU. This functions as the brain of the computer. It takes input from all of the other components in the computer and then sends out new information to help the components respond and achieve various tasks. The second component is the motherboard. So the motherboard, it's the framework of the computer. Everything runs through the motherboard. If you don't have one, the computer will not work, no matter what you do. So choosing the right motherboard and knowing just a little bit about it, in this case, this would be where the CPU would slide into its socket. So with the motherboard, everything works, everyone's happy. Next, we have the storage drive. So the storage drive is a type of non-volatile storage, meaning that when you turn the computer off, everything in there stays. You won't lose any of that information. So here we have an example of a hard drive basic spinning disk where information is written on with magnets. Next, we have the RAM. RAM is an example of volatile storage, meaning that when you turn the computer off, all of that information is gone. The RAM serves as a quick cache of information, which allows you to quickly pull from different sources to achieve things quickly. Lastly, we have the case, basically just aesthetic purposes, kind of a way to keep everything together. And finally, we have the power supply unit, which supplies power to all different components and makes sure that everything works. Thank you, and have a good night.
All right, Candace.
Alright, hi everyone. Hope you're having a good day so far. My name is Candace Dyson, and I'm basically going to explain what it means to do a pirouette. I've been a dancer for over 10 years, on and off. I'm currently the co-coordinator here of Creations Dance Company on campus, and I'm going to explain what it means to do a jazz pirouette. Now with pirouettes, there are different kinds that you can do depending on the different types of dance that you are doing. Pirouette actually stems from ballet, and it means to actually around or turn around if you were to translate it. So to start, what you would actually do is work on your posture first. Posture is perhaps the most important part of a pirouette. It's actually what keeps your body intact as you turn around. So you would actually, from your sternum, basically rise up and keep your stomach intact. And after you do that, you would focus on your legs. So for a jazz pirouette, you would put your left foot in front, your right foot behind if you were to turn inside. You can also do an outside turn, which just means that you would turn to your left as opposed to turning into your right. So after you place your left foot in front, you place your right foot behind, you would actually bend and get down into a plie stance, which actually means to bend if you were to translate that. Then you would place your arms in front. I like to pull them up from my side to help me form that round shape in front of me. And then I would place them out like this. You have one in front and one to the left. And then you would come around. And as you come around, unfortunately I can't do it with these boots. As you come around, you would place your leg in passe. So to do that, you would point your foot. You would have it angled parallel to the front. And then as you come around, you would basically pull your leg up and you would, again, raise your sternum and make sure that you are gathered. Your stomach is gathered. So I hope this has taught you guys a little bit about pirouettes, and I hope that that makes you want to exploit it.
All right, Ryan.
Alright, hello everyone, I'm Ryan Harper, and today I'm here to give you a glimpse behind the story of one of the greatest movies ever made, Apocalypse Now. Francis Ford Coppola's journey to creating this film is almost as compelling as the film itself. Coppola later admitted, "My film's not about Vietnam, it is Vietnam." The film was originally slated for a 6-week production. It ended up taking 17 months to film, 3 years to edit, was millions of dollars over budget. During the actual filming of Apocalypse Now, there was a real typhoon that struck the set. the Philippine army had to take away its helicopters for a real rebellion that was happening in the country where they were filming it. Also, Marlon Brando, the main actor, showed up drunk, overweight, and with none of his lines memorized, so he had to improvise most of his scenes. Chaos is how Martin Sheen described his experience on set, suffering a massive heart attack at the age of 36 while filming it. Coppola's wife filmed a documentary of the making of the film, which itself won an Emmy. So, Apocalypse Now is now considered one of the top 100 films of all time by the American Film Institute, but its making captured the recklessness of the film it sought to capture. It's a movie where fact and fiction blur. Thank you.
Good. Matt?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Hawkins. Welcome. Tonight I'd like to discuss something with you tonight that maybe some of you don't really think about. How about on a warm summer night or a cold winter's evening like tonight, you wonder how these temperatures are controlled in these buildings. I'm also employed by the physical plant here at SU. These are what we would call a space sensor. These are strategically placed around buildings around campus. We actually have one in this room. What these sensors do is they send a signal to a network, which is then sent to the physical plant, which houses a 24-hour room. The 24-hour room is manned 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Some information that is derived from this is scheduling, space temps in the room, and we can actually track how units are running just by these space sensors. It is important to note that energy management and conservation is important at Syracuse University. By scheduling these temperatures and controlling scheduling set points, we can save energy to better serve the students at Syracuse University campus. I'd like to thank you for your attention tonight, and go Orange.
All right, Mark?
Hello everyone, my name is Mark Helgeson, and tonight I'll be talking about the crucial role of a proper warm-up before any athletic activity. So this information is not just for athletes, it's for anyone. It's relevant to anyone in this class that's ever been to the gym, done yoga, or participated in any club sports activities. A proper warm-up can decrease your likelihood of injury and can also enhance your overall performance. The goal of warming up is to raise your body temperature and pump blood into all the various muscles that will be targeted during your specific activity that you're doing. The best way to begin your warm-up is with something called dynamic stretching and not static stretching. Dynamic stretching is when you're moving while your body is stretching, and static stretching is when your body is still. The best way to think about this is imagine your muscles as the candy Laffy Taffy. If you take a cold, stale piece of Laffy Taffy and try to stretch it, it's much harder than if you had put it in the microwave for 10 seconds first. Imagine the microwave as your dynamic stretching. As your muscles warm up, you become more flexible, and you reduce your injury risk, and your joints become way more loose. And this can overall increase your performance no matter what you're doing. So most of us sit at a desk all day, and you're very confined, and your muscles aren't used because you have a limited range of motion. Your movement, you're very stiff. So it's important to have your dynamic stretching before static so you don't have any partial tears, and it can actually steal some of your strength, as they say, because they're overstretched. Some examples of some dynamic stretches are arm circles, neck rolls, lunges, and different kinds of hip twists. It's most beneficial to pick the kinds of stretches that relate to your specific activity. So the next time you're in the gym, take the extra 5 to 10 minutes to properly warm up, save yourself from injury, and maximize your potential. You'll be glad you did. Thanks for listening.
Okay, Casey.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Casey Kristiniak, and tonight I'm going to be talking about the Super Bowl, hence the football jersey. So, does anybody here know where the Super Bowl name originated from? Cool. So, it actually came from the guy naming it. He had 2 children, and they loved playing with a super ball. So they bounced it around. He got hit in the head one time, and he instead of yelling at his kids, like, it's not a bad name for my football game that I have to name. So he turned it into the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl started in 1967. The tickets were only $8, and attendance was pretty low. So on the contrary, the Super Bowl we know today, Super Bowl 51, had great attendance. There's actually 114.4 million viewers per minute on average. The attendance was over 80,000 at the stadium, and tickets range from $3,000 to $1,000. So considerably different from the first Super Bowl. Additionally, the Super Bowl 51 had its first ever overtime, so that was huge for Fox Network, because now companies can focus on selling commercials, not just during the game, but also in overtime, which can be a huge deal for Fox and other networks filming the game. Commercials actually this year were $5 million, which is the highest ever, and that's just for a 30-second slot, which most companies actually use a whole minute slot. So it's, I just wanted to let everybody know some fun facts about the Super Bowl. I hope you learned something. Thank you.
All right, Leon.
Good evening, guys. My name is Leon. Before presentation, I would like to ask you a question. Are there anyone addicted to the Air Jordan shoes? Well, so much. Well, tonight I'm going to introduce the topic: how to distinguish fake Air Jordan shoes. Well, the first way is to looking at the structure of the shoes, like the colors. Well, when you buy it, if you think this is different from the official website, obviously this is fake. And in addition, the patterns. For the fake shoes patterns are evenly spacing because they are easy to produce. In addition, the symbol of the Michael Jordans looks rough on the fake ones. And the second way is the serial number, which is a string of numbers inside the shoes. You can search these numbers online, because each shoes can be found numbers through the Nike website, Air Jordan website, like the official website. The reason why I want to introduce this topic is for helping the shoes fans. Since the market of the shoes is growing, the merchandise between the shoes can get more benefits. Naturally, there are some illegal traders who want to sell in the fake shoes because they are low cost for more benefits, and I want to stop this business. Thank you for listening.
Ocean, I think you're next.
Hello everyone, my name's Ocean. First off, just congratulations everybody. You all, except Professor, have the peak of bone density in your life right now. So the topic tonight is bone health and some common myth about it. First, calcium. How much does calcium translate into bone health? In fact, not that much. The countries with the highest dietary calcium intake actually have the highest rate for osteoporosis, which is the United States and Canada. Another thing about calcium is, you don't really need that many of it. Researchers have found out that people who take a daily supplement of calcium have a higher risk of heart attack. But if calcium is not important, then what is? It's vitamin D and vitamin K. They act like the agents to activate the protein inside your bones to help the building of the bones and also prevent the calcium and other minerals from going out of your bones. Besides those two vitamins, you also need other things like fat, and also some other minerals. Anyway, to wrap up my presentation, I'd like to recommend the best food for bone health. That is raw cheese from grain-fed animals. Thank you so much.